Welcome, ladies. This is Anna Rakoczy, founder of Homemade Method, and I'm so delighted to welcome you all to today's workshop exclusively for our Homemade community, friends, and members, all about top 5 strategies to lose weight after menopause. And this is for you, whether, like many of my members, your weight was never an issue for your whole life until you hit menopause, or if you've struggled with your weight for your whole life, but then really escalated and gained a lot once menopause hit, or if you are just entering or going through perimenopause and you actually want to avoid that dreaded 15 pounds of weight gain. So welcome, ladies who are all jumping on live. I would love to invite you all to introduce yourselves, your whole name, because we have a lot of Lindas and a lot of Marys. So enter your whole name in the chat, where you're calling in from. And if you just say next to your name, whether you're a current member of the Life Changing Cooking Program or a former member, just say member. If you're in the Success Graduate membership, just say success. And if you're new to us or you've been following us for a while in our community, just write community. I love to know who's on, and I love to make these workshops super interactive and applicable to your personal situation right now. So welcome Debbie, welcome Janice, welcome Mary, welcome Chris, welcome Linda. Hi from Stafford, Debbie. Christine's here, Anne-Marie's here, Debbie's here, Glenna is here. Hi Laura, lovely to see you here from Arizona. Gina's here, Debbie from Chesterfield, from Success member. Christine is also a current life-changing, no, she's actually a Success member. She says, yay, I need this. Welcome Diane. Vera, you made it 2 days in a row to a live event. That is awesome. From Houston, she's in Success. Mary is also here. Patricia, I'm so excited to have you here. We have 2 Patricias. We've got Patricia Allen Bennett, who posted today saying she was so excited for this event, really needed this. We've got Patricia Lovelace, also from California. Lovely to have you here. Mary, welcome again. Thank you, Anna Murray. I love your name too, from New Jersey. I've been there. Janice, lovely to see you as well, from Ontario in the Success. Cindy from Indiana, also Success. Janie from Louisville. Cindy McDonald has just joined us. Yay, Mary Scott says, need this. Linda, Diane, Patricia, Darla, Carol, Debbie, Christine, Julie. Welcome, ladies. So lovely to have you all on. So the format for today is I'm going to be diving straight into content. I love to make these sessions super interactive. So the first thing for all of you ladies just joining now live is enter your name, your full name, because actually the full name shows in the chat. So just write where you're calling in from, say hi, and in particular say if you're a member of the program now, if you're one of our current Success membership members, or if you are new in our community or you've been following us for a while. Love to get to know you all personally. Make sure this is super applicable to your current personal situation. We'll be doing interactions throughout the event, so get chatting in the chat. It's live. I can see you, you can see me, and everyone can see what you type, so you can talk to each other too. And I'll be doing live Q&A at the end if we have time. We will be wrapping up right on in 1 hour's time. So a couple of quick announcements before we dive in. First of all, for all my members in Life Changing Cooking and my Success members, yesterday we did an amazing workshop about my anxiety reduction system to get a healthy body and to get inner calm. And so that's already that was actually 24 hours ago. That's had already 500 views and over 200 comments. We've pinned it to the top of the members only group. So if you missed it or you want to watch it again, go there now. You should see me streaming live the recording pinned at the top of that group. So that was such an awesome, heart-evoking, very real, amazing session. I love hanging out with you ladies. So definitely catch that replay if you haven't already. I think it's something that so many of us are struggling with: anxiety, stress, depression, and overwhelm in our lives. I shared how my last 6 months has been one of the hardest of my life. And so I really wanted to share my system with you all for getting through it. Second quick announcement, my Success members, thanks for voting in our poll on what recipes you want in our next section of the program. So we picked your 2 top winning. There were over 400 votes in that poll. We top your 2 winning choices, which is the anti-inflammatory recipes and the recipes for reducing high blood sugars, pressure, and cholesterol. And they will be coming up soon in your Success program as the next recipe modules. Lastly, to my ladies in the community, welcome. I can't wait to get to know you. I think you've already met some of the amazing nutritionists and dietitians on my team. I jump in both groups whenever I can. I love seeing your posts. I'm so proud of you for starting this journey, and I can't wait for you to get to know all the members in the community. They're all amazing. They're all so supportive. We're all doing this together, getting a healthy body for the rest of your life without dieting. So welcome. And if you are interested in learning more about the program that we're all talking about, how all the ladies who are here, who are members, got their results, I'm so excited to let you know that the summer waitlist is now open for our program. So we run a 4-month program that includes coaching, recipes, a structured program to get you through losing weight without dieting and reducing high blood sugars, pressure and cholesterol, and treating a host of other chronic conditions, including arthritic pain, inflammation, a bunch of other things like thyroid issues our members have had success with, fibromyalgia, etc. That program is called Life Changing Cooking and Coaching. We only open enrollment now and then. Our summer program is coming up and we have a wait list for it. So I'm actually going to share the URL with you for getting on the wait list. And so if you haven't already and you want to check it out, I've just typed in the URL for the getting on the summer waitlist. I was just realized I forgot to put my phone on airplane mode, so I was just shutting that down. So if you want to get on the waitlist for our summer program, I've just shared the URL in the chat. I'm going to type it in one more time. And when you sign up for that, you get a free bonus gift. So check that out now. And without further ado, welcome to all the new ladies. I am seeing a million amazing comments coming through in the chat. Let's see if I can read out some of them. We've got welcome Laurie, Kay, Tamara, from Success, Mary, member, Jean is a member, welcome Jean, Annie Katie is new to the community, welcome, and also Lorraine Jack, welcome to the community. Anna Murray, you've just joined the group today, so excited to have you here as well. Susan, yes, this is going to be the trigger to get you started. I'm excited for you. Janet, welcome, one of my members. Lucy, I'm so glad you made it. Rhonda, a wonderful, beautiful Success member. Brenda, Yvonne, from the UK and new to the community. Lovely to have you here. As you can tell, I'm originally from Australia. I've lived in San Francisco for almost 10 years, but definitely feel a connection to my UK community. Patricia, so excited. So glad you loved the workshop yesterday. Nancy, Shelley, Patricia, Angie, Sheila, Di, Angel Loomis, you made it. I'm so happy. Janet made it. Barbara, you made it. Anne, Connie. All right, I'm going to stop reading out names. Janice is here. So lovely to see all you ladies. It's such a pleasure hanging out with you all. We've got Jackie, Elaine, Linda, Penny. Oh, Belle made it as well. So fantastic. I think did you suggest the anti-inflammatory, Belle? Well, we're going with it. That is awesome. All right. So I want to invite you ladies, as I say, I like to make these workshops super applicable to you personally. So the first thing I want to point out is this community is completely private. So anything you write in the chat, no one in your friends or family will be able to see anything in this feed, in this chat, unless they're a member of our Facebook community groups. You can feel completely safe to share anything you want to. Now, sometimes I get members reaching out to us going, oh my gosh, I thought you said this was private, but it showed in my feed. The thing to note is Facebook shows you what's relevant to you. So it shows you things in your feed because it's part of your experience on Facebook. It doesn't mean any of your friends and family can see it. So with that said, I invite you now to share which of the following 3 do you relate to the most? Are you the person who never had weight issues all your life until you hit menopause? Are you the person who always had problems, always struggled with your weight and dieting all your life, but then really gained a lot after menopause hit? Or are you currently going through perimenopause and just wanting to avoid that dreaded 15 pounds of weight loss? So type in, I'm going to say, let's say, we'll say gained if you're in group 1, type that in the chat. If you're in group 2, write gained a lot. And if you're in group 3, just write perimenopause. So we'll see. We want to make sure we can target it to what suits you the most relevantly. So while you write that in, I also want to share a quick story with you. I want to begin by addressing the elephant in the room, which came to me in the best possible way this morning with an email from my 93-year-old great uncle who lives in Switzerland, who I met in 1999 for the first time when I was backpacking around Europe. And he sent me an email, and the email said, Anna, you're so young to be talking, because he's on my mailing list, and he sent me an email and said, Anna, you're so young to be talking about this topic. How do you know about it? So you might be wondering this same question too. It's a very legitimate question. So I wanted to start, while you type in what your main interest is, I want to start by addressing the elephant in the room. So I'm going to read out some of your answers to my question in a second. But so to address that question, first of all, since 2013, this has been my full-time role, working with ladies who want to lose weight and reverse high blood pressures, cholesterol and blood sugars. And I've taught workshops for Google. We've taught workshops for National Kidney Foundation, Hewlett-Packard. We've worked with DaVita Medical. We've been featured in Forbes. And I've actually, by now, I've taught in-person and online classes. I've given a presentation at the Stanford Food Summit, the UC Berkeley Food Innovation Seminar. And by now I've actually worked with over 85,000 ladies in their 50s, 60s and 70s. And I've helped them lose tens of thousands of pounds, literally reverse diabetes, literally reverse high blood pressure, high blood cholesterol, elevated triglycerides, get off medications, and doctors have been amazed. And I know some of my ladies who are on now can attest to this. Belle, for example, said she was going in for eye cataract surgery, and she said, she wrote a post and says, according to my optometrist, Anna, you've got some explaining to do because the cataracts in my eyes have completely disappeared, and he's never seen this before in 25 years of practice. So the methodologies that I teach are proven, and the best thing of all is it's not a fad, it's not dieting, it's not pills, it's supplements, it's real life, it's stuff you can do today no matter where you're at, no matter what your starting point. So some of my ladies who are members, success members, tell some of our new community ladies the results you've gotten without dieting with this methodology, so they know that I'm legitimate. And the second thing is that this is my passion and this is my life's work, is really working with ladies over 50 in their 50s, 60s and 70s. So that's been my focus exclusively for many years with Homemade Methods. So the other reason why I can help you with this issue is because I've seen so many stories and variations and seen what works for you ladies, because that is my focus and that is my passion. Thirdly, I've got master's degrees from Stanford and UC Berkeley, which means that I bring, again, as my members will attest to, I bring a very research-based and science-based approach to this. So it's not fluffy, it's not mumbo-jumbo, it's based on epidemiological data, it's based on population studies, it's based on the latest research, and I filter through the fads, the confusion, the overwhelm, and just bring you common sense, logical things based on science that you can implement in your life. And lastly, I'm actually also a very spiritual person. So I bring to the Homemade Method something that I think is often missing in the whole approach to dieting. It's missing in the approach that your doctors often take when they tell you to diet and exercise to get rid of the excess weight. And that is a very holistic, natural-based approach. So I take into account the well-being of your entire body, your entire person, your family. And that's why I do workshops like my stress reduction system or my anxiety reduction system, which we did yesterday for my members. Because if you're anxious and you're living in a state of anxiety, number one, you're going to be elevating your cortisol system, which actually makes your body lay down fat. And number two, self-care, as I know from my own personal experience in the last 6 months, it becomes very difficult. It becomes very difficult to get yourself out of overwhelm, to get yourself out of feeling down and feeling like a failure and actually doing good things for yourself. So we take a very holistic approach to getting you these results. So I hope that satisfies your interest about how and why I can teach this workshop. I want to read out some of the comments that have been written. It's actually blocking the top ones. So I'm just going to read out what it's allowing me to see. So Patricia gained after 50. Lucy gained. Anne-Marie's had, welcome Anne-Marie and welcome Lucy, has had weight issues since puberty but got worse in menopause. Margaret's in group 1, so never had weight issues until menopause. Vera also group 1. Lorraine gained a lot after menopause. Belle gained a lot after menopause, but she commented earlier she always had weight issues. Welcome Helga. Mary Sue also gained a lot. Julie gained a lot. Kathy gained a lot. Linda gained. Gina gained a lot. Christina also. Welcome Kim, so lovely to have you here. Debbie's going through perimenopause and also in the hard to lose group. Angel also gained a lot after entering menopause. Okay, I'm going to stop reading out all the comments. Let's see. Nivi gained too much as well. Patricia gained a lot. So I'm seeing a lot of gained a lot. Patricia is saying she was always the skinny girl but started gaining in her 40s and hasn't been able to lose it. Let me just keep scrolling down and catch up. So glad you could join today as well, Kim. All right, so some of my members, really quickly reading out some of their results, says Belle's come off her metformin through the program because her A1C dropped from 11.4 to 5.1. That is unbelievable. It makes me so happy. Christine says this is the best program out there and it's supported by science. I've looked at them all, really nothing compares. Angel says I've lost 30 pounds. My A1C is down from 6.4 to 6.0, just feel lots better. And Angel has inspired her 16-year-old son to start cooking fresh, healthy food and to turn down fast food, which I think is worth mentioning, Angel. That's amazing. Let's see. Welcome, Juanita. She says group 2. And wow, Belle, I didn't even know you're up to the 90 pounds of weight loss lost. So, okay, we're down to the bottom of the comments. Awesome. Welcome. And thank you, Linda and Nancy, for sharing your goals. She went through early menopause at 40, and then after chemo, she gained about 50 pounds. So welcome all of you ladies. Thanks for introducing yourselves. You should feel completely welcome to enter anything you want in the chat as you go along, because this is your workshop. So let us now dive in. As you know, I'm going to be covering today the top 5 strategies to lose weight after menopause. I want to begin really quickly with some of the causes of the weight gain, because as I said, I like to take a very scientific approach. So helping you understand why something happens on a science-based basis is going to help you to actually address address the problem and get the outcome that you want. So first of all, as you already know, it comes down, a lot of it, to changing hormone levels. It's your progesterone and estrogen that are going all over the place. However, what you may or may not know is, why does this affect your weight loss or weight gain effort? So there's 3 main reasons for this. Number 1 is your losing estrogen levels actually promote laying down more abdominal fat around the belly. So that is number 1. Number 2 is that there's a theory, and some of this is unproven and it's just speculative research, but there's also a theory that actually the changing hormone levels actually also reduces potentially your metabolism. So that is reason number 2. And then reason number 3, relating to changing hormone levels, is there is a theory that the changes in hormones levels may also increase insulin resistance, which means that your body doesn't use sugar as well, which may also lead to increased fat storage in the body. So that's the impact of the changing hormone levels. Some other reasons are genetics. Another reason is a really big important reason that I want you to pause and consider is the changing activity levels. So whether it's declining exercise levels throughout your life, whether it's not running around as much after your children after they've left home, or whether it's just walking, riding your bike, moving your body less, or for many of us, it's just that you had a very active job and then you become more sedentary. So reducing activity levels is huge because it reduces the amount of calories that you burn every day. The next one is also important and to be noted, which is actually declining muscle mass. So this is one of the symptoms as well as we age, is our muscle mass gets less. The thing about muscles, though, that you may or may not realize is that muscles burn calories just if you're sitting around. And so by having less muscles, there's less of us that's burning less calories just as we live our life. And so you end up basically needing less food to have the same weight maintained. So the thing is that if you eat the exact same calories, so if you've been wondering this, if you're going, I feel like I'm eating the same or less than I ate my whole life, but I still seem to be gaining, it may not be in your head. It might literally be that you have potentially declined activity levels, potentially changing hormones, potentially declining muscle mass, and as a consequence of all that, you eat the same thing and you actually gain weight. So good facts to know, good starting point. It's not in your head. And that's just some of the key causes of why actually women gain weight during menopause. Next, though, I want to debunk a myth. And the myth that I want to debunk is that weight gain during menopause is extreme, or that it's inevitable, or that it's unavoidable, or that it's irreversible. So I think all of those messages that we can see and hear in society, especially in Western countries, I think they're disempowering because they teach you that you can't do anything about it, and they're just not true. So a couple of facts for you to be aware of. One is that 50 to 80% of women pretty much around the world gain weight during or after menopause. But if you think about it, that still means there's somewhere between 50 to 20% who don't. So there's a lot of women who don't. So number one, it's not inevitable. Number two is that the average amount of weight gained during or after menopause is actually 8 to 14 pounds. So for those women who've gained 50 pounds or 40 pounds, this is not your fault. It's just saying that it's not necessarily as much hormone or menopause related, and potentially more of these other factors related. And number three is that if you look across cultures and countries, some countries around the world, such as Italy, France, and Japan, the women don't gain as much weight, or they don't gain any weight at all. So again, this is not a blame game. This is just to make you feel empowered, that this is something you can control and something that you can feel empowered about, either preventing or reversing if this is you. Thank you for all the love hearts coming across the screen. That's awesome. So I'm going to just say quick hello to some of the latest ladies. Welcome, Barb. Just got home from the doctors. That's fantastic. Thanks for sharing, Anne, about your weight gain. Hey, Barbara, lovely to have you. Deborah, lovely to have you here. Hi, Beverly Wilson and Beverly Lee. Glenna says, always had weight issues, gained a lot. Glenna, in case you're just joining, I also asked some of my members to share some of their results that they've been able to achieve so far with the program. You'd be a great person to share your amazing story. Especially, I love the story with, I think you lost 65 pounds at some point and your grandkids told you to go out and buy new clothes. So you went out and got 2 sizes smaller, and then you got home and the clothes fell off you and you had to return them. So amazing story there. Welcome, Susan, and we've got a Deb Lynn, we've got a Deb Miller. Christine says the shape of my body completely changed. I went from a tiny waist to a huge waist. Absolutely, the gaining around the waist is a big one. All right, so let us go now to, well, how do we reverse this? Let's assume we're empowered. We don't have to fall into this trap. How do we actually reverse it? Well, here's my top 5 strategies to lose weight after menopause. So tip number 1, and I invite you to write these as we go along. And the reason it's great to write them as we go along, because it actually helps reinforce it into your head so you will recall it better. And if I see you typing it in wrong, I'll actually correct you to make sure you're taking away the right learning point. And the second reason it's great to type it in is it's really helpful for people watching the replay. They can see it coming up in the live chat, helps everyone absorb it. So if you feel like typing in, go for it. But tip number 1 is mindset. So this one might surprise you because you might think it was going to be all about exercise or eating less or whatever. No, I've had so many members who've succeeded with reversing diabetes, losing weight, and really sticking the course to completely transforming their health. Use the slogan that mindset is everything when it comes to losing weight and increasing your health and turn it around. And this is that holistic part of me that I like to bring into it, because your health is not just your eating, it's everything. It's the entire, your lifestyle, your family, your relationships, your state of well-being. And so starting with that concept, that mindset is everything, what I always invite my members, and especially my success members who are our graduates who continue in our membership program for more support, what I always invite them to do is come back to your big why. So when it comes to losing weight and keeping it off, which is our big goal here, I really want you to think about and always return to your big why. And your big why, often by this age, one of the reasons, again, why I love working with women in their 50s, 60s, and 70s, is because often by this point in your life, your big why has shifted from just wanting to wear skinny jeans into much more profound life impacting values. So the things that I hear most from my members are things like, I want to keep up with my grandkids, or I want to be alive when my grandkids graduate from high school, or I want to have a healthy, energetic body so I can enjoy my retirement years and I can travel with my husband around the States in a camper van. And another one I hear a lot is having more energy. I want to be able to go for a hike with my children or grandkids up a hill without being the one who can't go on the hike. Another thing I hear a lot is the fundamentals of health. You know, I don't want to die early like my mother or my father or my sister who passed away at 64. I want a long, healthy life. And then lastly, yes, I do hear a lot that I want to feel good and confident in my clothes and in my skin. So those are all valid reasons. So right now, before we go any further, I invite you to type in right now into the chat your big why. So what is your big why that goes deeply? And the goal and the purpose of the big why is about when the times get tough, when you're tempted, because we're all tempted. We all have bad days. We all get cravings. Many of us, I used to struggle with my eating. I used to struggle with chronic dieting. I used to struggle with binge eating. A lot of my members and my ladies did. And there's bad days when you want to give in to temptations. And that's when your big why comes in. That's when it will save you. When it's not just about skinny jeans, but you think about, I'm doing this because I want to be there for my grandkids, or I'm doing this because I want to be there for my husband or be there for myself. So type in your big why. Thanks, ladies, who've typed in the mindset. I see Annie Kate and Anna Murray. Welcome. I mean, not welcome, but thank you. I just said welcome because you said it was your first day in our community, so I was remembering that. Tamara, Barbara, Cheryl, Green, Debbie, Angel, Vera, Sherry, thanks for typing in mindset. So let me see some of your big whys that you're typing in. I see Anne, Christine, Barbara, Cheryl, Kim, Angel, LaShawn, Jan. Awesome. I love what Jan wrote. Mindset is everything. I like that even better than just mindset, because come back to that and it will be your guide. It will be your shining light that will get you there. Anytime you're feeling down or doubting yourself or your journey, say to yourself, mindset is everything. Yes, Belfair also wrote mindset is everything. And she said, and it's what made this program different than every other one I felt a waste of money on over the years. So yes, we do have, because I believe it's so essential to your sustained success in losing weight and changing your health and your eating. We have an entire section of our program just dedicated to the mindset part. It's all about changing your relationship with food and your body and your eating so you can actually get results and maintain them without using discipline and willpower. So love it. Deborah wrote mindset is everything too. Okay, we've got some big whys coming in now. So Patty says, so right about wanting to be around for my grandchildren. Definitely need energy for that. Sue said, I want to be able to get up from a normal toilet when I'm 90 for starters. Yes, that is an amazing, awesome one. And I would write that on a piece of paper and I would stick that on your mirror or stick that on the inside of a cupboard if it needs to be a little more discreet, and keep looking at it, Sue. I love how specific that is, and that's so inspiring, and it's a beautiful vision. Absolutely. Diane says, I want to remain healthy into old age. Here. Vera wants to be able to move around without running out of breath. Yes, and that is so possible for you. That is fantastic, Vera. Lorraine says to become healthy. Yvonne wants to improve her energy to enjoy a longer, healthy life. Kim says for her grandkids, get off medication and don't want to die early. And Kim, I'm so glad you mentioned the getting off medication, because one of the things I love about the benefits that my members experience and report so often is getting off medications. And what often I hear my members say, what they most dislike about being on medications is often the side effects and the increasingly larger doses that are given to them. And often it doesn't actually cure the cause of the issue. So it's just given to mask or kind of hold back the symptoms. And it's a slippery slope, and it's kind of a scary, unpleasant, slippery slope. So as you improve your blood numbers, and I hear my members getting off medications or getting off onto lower doses, it's so warming to my heart, because at the same time I see other symptoms that they're struggling with decreasing that are actually side effects of those medications. So that is an awesome goal. Debbie says, I want to finally feel better. I've felt sick for a long time. Patricia wants good health. Deborah says better health. So for the ladies writing good health, better health, that is awesome. And I would like you to even be more specific. Think about something that you can visualize and come back to that makes you want to jump off your chair and shout with excitement. Because that will be the thing that will really keep you going. So I'm going to stop reading them out. Let's see a couple more. Cheryl says, I want to raise my 6-year-old grandchild who I've had since she was 14 months. I'm 61 years old. Beautiful, beautiful, lovely vision, Cheryl. And that will be such a strong foundation for you. That's very powerful. Barbara says, to increase energy, get physically stronger and keep numbers in check. Love it. That's very nice. Again, if you can come up with something that gives you joy when you think about it or read it, it will be more powerful for you. Linda says, healthy after cancer. So Linda, write something about what's something you want to do when you're healthy after cancer. Do you want to go sailing? Do you want to ride your bike somewhere? Do you want to travel? Write something specific. Let's see, the big why, more energy and help your knees feel better. says Janie Kansler. So Janie, same thing. Can you think of something that you actually will do if your knees feel better that would be greatly gratifying or enjoyable for you? Belle says, my big why, I don't want to ever go back to the nursing home. I want to take care of myself. Love it, Belle. And I know you've got some parents and a 25-year-old son you're also taking care of. Patricia wants to be able to enjoy her grandkids and live a long, healthy life. Beautiful. Sherry says, I'm not happy with my body. When I look in the mirror, I want to walk. They're all disappearing. I can't read them fast enough. Sherry, I didn't get to read that whole thing out, but I loved what you wrote. I could tell it was going to be something very specific and joyful. So that's a great one. Okay, there's 102 more comments. I'm going to have to fly through these. Let's see. I'll read the last three. Karen says, I want to stop hurting all over. Karen, I love that one. And you can so absolutely achieve that with this system. I've had members who were like Ann Adams, who was in so much pain from fibromyalgia when she started that she could barely go grocery shopping. And now she works out every day on an elliptical treadmill in her living room. She says she no longer needs daytime naps. She's reversed her high blood sugars. Her husband lost 13 pounds. So you can totally do that. Anne-Marie wants to fit in an airplane seat. Excellent one. Very specific. And where are you going to fly, Anne-Marie, once you can do that? Elaine says, agree that mindset is everything. I'm lucky enough to be healthy and on no meds. Would like to stay that way and see my 3-year-old grandson grow up. And 82. Well done, Elaine. Lovely to see you in here as always. You're doing a beautiful, wonderful job. All right, so let me keep going. So tip number 1, mindset is everything. Let's go to tip number 2. So tip number 2 is, this will not come as a surprise to my members or success members, but as they always say to me, we love repetition. Reinforcement is key, especially in this society that we live in. But to put it in 2 words, stop dieting. So my message here is that if you are currently 50 or over in your 50s, 60s, 70s, or 80s like Elaine, I want you to think about what good has dieting done you so far in your life. If you're like most of my members, you actually don't need help losing weight. You are probably, like most of my members, actually a professional at losing weight. Most of my members have lost hundreds of pounds. So the problem is not losing weight. The problem is actually losing weight and keeping it off. And that is the big problem with diets, is it's a system that sets you up to fail, because all of them are somehow based in deprivation, in willpower, in discipline, and often in dramatic calorie reduction. So you're cutting out entire food groups, you're using discipline not to eat after 6, or not to eat carbs, or not to have fats, or not to have whatever the latest trend is. And it works for a while until it doesn't. Or you do the points counting, or the calorie counting, or the weigh-ins, and it's inhuman and it's not real life, because then you have to eat out, or then it's holidays and you overdo it at Memorial Day. And then you feel down and you feel like a failure, and all the weight comes stacking back on, and then some. So over 95% of women who lose weight over 50 end up gaining it back. I've seen statistics where that figure is closer to 99%. And so if you've spent your lifetime dieting, write in the chat if you can relate to this. Just write can relate. If you've been dieting for many years or most of your life, and you've had this experience where you lose the weight only to gain it back and then some. It is so frustrating, and this is coming from me who spent decades dieting and stuck in the dieting cycles of, I used to record everything I ate, I used to weigh myself a million times a day, I did the low carb, the no carb, the low fat, Atkins, not eating after a certain time, not eating white foods, eating right for your body type, blood type, all that stuff, food combining, there was that fat as well. And it never got me anywhere. It only caused me so much misery. I felt lonely, I felt isolated. And then I would have these periods of deprivation and counting my calories and thinking I was getting somewhere, and that would be interspersed with periods of binge eating and feeling like I was eating totally out of control, and feeling so bad about myself, and feeling like, why can't I get a handle on this? What is wrong with me? And after years and years of this, I honestly thought there was something wrong with me, that I just couldn't do it. And I'd look around at people enjoying bread and wine and think to myself, how can they just do this? How can they eat normally? And I can tell you, since I started following the homemade method, since I started using this system over a decade ago, I've been able to lose over 30 pounds, keep it off, Food is no longer an issue for me. I don't have challenges with binge eating ever anymore, no matter how hard life gets. And so this is the system I share with my members. So tip number 2 is, if you can relate to the experience of losing weight and then gaining it back and dieting being hard and miserable and isolating, just stop dieting. It really is that simple. Let it go like a piece of baggage that you don't eat. Say sayonara to it. And instead, I'm going to tell you what to do next in tip 3. But if you're thinking about doing paleo or keto or going gluten-free for weight loss reasons, or doing a juice cleanse or trying fasting, because those are all the currently trending diets, just stop and take a second and say to yourself, why would this be any different than when we were doing low fat in the 90s and when we were doing Atkins in the 2000s, and none of that ever worked? Like, why would this be different? They're just selling us a new thing. So stop dieting. Let me see if there's some people who can relate. Anne-Marie says can relate. Mary Brunner says can relate. Patricia says stop dieting and can relate. Megan Miller says stop dieting. Love this. Love heart. This is truth. Yay. Awesome. Perfect. Diane says can relate. Christine says can relate. Chris says can relate. Debbie, yes. Laura says most diets are unrealistic, not sustainable. Belle says can relate. Anne-Marie says absolutely. Dorothy, lost 45, gained 55, right? Worst thing in the world, worst feeling in the world. And welcome Dorothy, one of my members too. Sherry also, I didn't get to read out your whole thing before, but welcome, another member. Can relate. Debbie, also member, and Mary Sue as well can relate. Annie Sue can relate. All right, there's another 38 comments. So I'm going to scroll right down to the bottom. So that's tip number 2, stop dieting. Now, the thing about this one is this is for my members even who've heard me say this a million times. I want to repeat it one more time because as Christine Gorb can relate, who's on today, the dieting mentality is insidious. And by that I mean we think we're over dieting and yet it sneaks up on us. So old habits are hard to break. So think about, do you count the calories of the foods you eat? Do you consider whether to have a creamy dressing or one that's fat-free? Do you still buy yogurt that is low-fat or no fat, or even milk that's low-fat or no-fat? Do you weigh yourself several times a day? Do you try not to have carbohydrates with your meals? Like, when was the last time you had some brown rice with your dinner, or some whole grain cereal, or whole grain bread with your breakfast? And by whole grain cereal, I really do mean things like oats, as opposed to things that they sell us, because those are mostly sugary and processed. So think about that for a second. And if you answered yes, that you do those things, or haven't had recently any good carbohydrates, you might still be stuck in that dieting mentality. So it's insidious and it's hard to shake. So just think about that, and you can comment in the chat if you want. If you feel like you can relate to the fact that you're still stuck in that dieting mindset, especially my members, but also everyone else who's on. Let's see, Diana says guilty. So while you write that in, that's one of the problems with dieting, is we hear it from doctors, we hear it from the weight loss industry, we see pseudoscience and fake science all the time in our Facebook feed. We see all these sources, you know, credible news journals, reporting these new diets, these new fads, and it's difficult to be unaffected by it. And yet, for example, my personal experience is I've done the all protein, high protein thing in the past, and my body felt miserable and I became constipated from it. So that is not the way I want to feel. Whereas when I eat good carbohydrates, things like whole fruits and vegetables and whole grains like farro and rolled oats and steel cut oats and brown rice and quinoa, my body sings. My body loves living and eating this way. And I always, for the new community members, I always get questions here from people saying, sorry, I've got this dry throat. 1 second. From members who are listening, who are new, saying, but I'm diabetic, I can't have fruit, can I? I can't have grains, can I? And it is a myth. And so, for example, to my diabetic members who've already succeeded in reversing their A1Cs, who are on, people like Belle, who reversed her A1C from 11.4 to, I think you said 6 point something, you absolutely can. And it's about eating the right carbs. And actually the medical system is behind in their understanding of nutrition and the impact of the body. And they're very good at helping us with diagnosis and with medications. And they're not so good yet but it's changing, at having a holistic approach at reversing those conditions. So I always tell my members, listen to your doctor, get medical advice, take your medications, but I will actually help you reverse your conditions so you no longer need them. So it is absolutely true. So let's see some comments coming in about that dieting mentality being insidious. Christine says, yep. Anne Stewart says, yes. Mary says, let's come back to that question in Q&A, Mary. Juanita says, just can't seem to buy whole fat. So quick story. One of our advisors for the homemade method since we started in 2013 is the former head of Northern California Weight Watchers. And she actually, Lorraine is her name, she actually does one of our expert interviews in the Success series. And she actually started helping us, advising us, because she knows everything about weight loss. She did that role for 25 years. And when she started with us, she'd actually succeeded in losing 40 pounds and keeping it off for several decades with Weight Watchers. So when she started with us, she said to herself, well, if I'm going to help these girls, I better walk my talk and I'm going to try their principles. Guess what happened? She started buying whole fat dairy products for the first time in literally decades using our system and our philosophy. And she lost another 10 pounds and became the lightest she's ever been, even with over 25 years of doing Weight Watchers. And she's obviously one of their success stories. So Juanita, my message to you would be, I know it's scary, but try it. The reason and the way it works is because fat is one of the things that helps our bodies register satiety. So when you eat fat, your body sends signals to your brain and your stomach that literally says, I'm satisfied. And that is a key to our program and how our members get their results, because when you learn that you can eat food and actually feel satisfied, then the cravings diminish and go away. And it's not just a battle between your weight loss goals and willpower in order to get results. So give it a try. The second reason is buying full fat or even just 2%. I often buy 2% yogurt and then full fat milk. But when you buy these full fat products, you will find you are satisfied with a lot less. So you start eating smaller servings. And that is one of the keys as well to success. So, yay, Linda had oats for breakfast this morning. That's also very good for reducing cholesterol. Nancy says, I'm having a really hard time shaking the dieting mindset. It is really hard, Nancy, and my suggestion to you would be, first of all, watch the recent workshop we did with Christine. If you're a current member, I'm pretty sure you are because I recognize your name. So watch that workshop. It's pinned in the announcement section if you click on there, with Christine, about what to do if you're not losing weight. And in that workshop, we did a long discussion about the dieting mentality and how to overcome it. Write a follow-up, comment or question if you have one. Brenda says, buy Jenny Craig Weight Watchers Nutrisystem. Yes, absolutely. So Amber says, when I eat brown rice, my blood sugars get too high. So very quick reply to that one before we go on, because this is such a common thing, is that when you eat complex carbohydrates like brown rice that are high in fiber, normally diabetics can tolerate it better because it doesn't have the high glycemic index carbohydrates in it, which is what causes your blood sugars to spike up. If you still, because everyone is individually unique, your stage of diabetes, how long you've had diabetes, how high your blood sugar numbers are, how high your A1C is, what medications you're taking, whether they're fast acting, all of that is going to impact on how active you are. Do you take a walk after you eat? All of that is going to impact on your blood sugars, Amber. So my tip to you is, if you find you eat brown rice and your blood sugars still spike, is try eating it with a healthy protein, some vegetables, and a healthy fat of your choice. So turn it into a meal like that. And all of those extra added pieces, the fiber in the vegetables, plus the fat and the protein, actually further helps prevent your blood sugar spikes. And then try going for just even a 10, 15, 20-minute walk, a gentle walk, enjoy your neighborhood, enjoy your community after you eat. Leave 5, 10, 20, 30 minutes after you eat, and then test it. And come back and tell us in this group what happened, because I found this 9 out of 10 of the times it does fix things for my members who have that experience. And then see how you feel when you allow your body to eat those good carbohydrates, when you allow your body to have a real meal again, because your body will thank you and it will sing for you, and you will feel so much better and have better bowel movements, more energy, better sleep. So it is really the start of change and transformation. Oh my gosh, Belle, A1C now 5.1. I just said 6 point something before. So Jackie says, what about Mediterranean? I'm actually very supportive of it, and it's very aligned with the homemade principles. There's more to our system, which actually let me let me turn to the system next, because this is tip number 3. I see about 25 more comments. Megan first said, I'll just read yours out. It's insidious and hurting younger and younger girls every year. I think it is so tragic, and another part of the reason why I love working with you women in your 50s, 60s and 70s and 80s, Elaine, who's here, and anyone else in their 80s, is because you women are often the anchors of your family. You often control the food and, you know, the get-togethers in your family. And I think by changing our relationship with food, you can help impact the next generation of girls, your children and grandkids, so they grow up with a good relationship with food and their bodies, which is based on eating for nourishment and satisfaction instead of dieting and deprivation and body shaming and self-hate. So love it, and let's turn it around together, Megan. All right, let us turn next to tip number 3. So tip number 3 of the top 5 strategies to lose weight after menopause is the system that we teach in our program. So this is what you need to do instead of dieting. As I've pointed out to many of our members, yay Jean, so glad you made it. And yes, I want your body to sing for you too, Linda. So as I say to many of my members in the program, the alternative to dieting, or when I say stop dieting, it also doesn't mean eat anything you want anytime you want. So there is a difference. We have a system which is what works. So the system, it's a holistic system that takes into account your entire being and your wellness, but it's designed to do 2 things. Number 1 is it's designed to help you actually create physiological changes in your body's hunger and satiety hormones. So one of the other really bad things about dieting is that it actually messes with your body's hunger and satiety hormones. So you have hormones in your body, leptin and ghrelin, that are designed, and so much more. There's an entire system in your gut, there's signals in your brain, there's saliva, all of these systems and chemicals and hormones that are literally designed for your body to maintain homeostasis. And that includes your weight, that includes healthy weight, that includes healthy blood sugars, pressure and cholesterol. And we mess with that system so much and so often with fad diets, starving ourselves, reducing calories dramatically, and then also eating fast foods, eating refined foods, eating processed foods, eating home cooking, but the wrong sort of foods, as a lot of my members used to do. And then we end up with actually messing up our body's hunger and satiety controls. So the end result of that is you can get this feeling that you're always hungry, or that you're always snacking, or that you're never really hungry. So you don't really eat 3 meals a day, which I hear a lot from my members, but then you end up snacking and grazing on the wrong foods, or you're having pizza and cookies and candy or ice cream after dinner, or you're having the episodes of binge eating. So all of this is not a normal physiological balance. And that's one of the bad side effects of dieting. And another bad side effect of dieting that I actually forgot to mention on point 2 is it actually messes up your metabolism even further. So remember when I told you at the beginning of the workshop what the causes of weight gain after menopause are, and one of them was low metabolism. But guess what? We believe, well, the researchers believe, that one of the biggest reasons for that reduced metabolism is the fact that we've had these cycles of dieting all of our life, and those cycles of dieting literally cripple your metabolism. So not only are you using all this discipline and willpower to cut calories and then ending up gaining it all back, but at the same time you're crippling your body's metabolism because it's preparing for a famine. And then as soon as we do start eating normally again, or we eat more again, then all the weight stacks back on even fast, and you've got a reduced metabolism, which means you gain even more weight. So terrible cycle. And so the alternative, again, is the system we teach in the program. The first benefit it has is it actually helps you reset your body's system of natural hunger and satiety controls. So for my members who are on now, type in the chat if you've had this experience since following the principles, that you found your cravings for sugar have reduced, cravings for soft drinks, craving for refined foods, fast foods, processed foods, junk foods. Type in the chat if that's been your experience. You can validate what I'm saying with following our principles, and then experiencing for the first time this beautiful sensation of satiety. So we teach you actually how to eat and realize that you're satisfied and stop there, and you don't need to eat anymore. And you also don't need to feel deprived, because you can eat again under our system anytime you're hungry. So the first benefit of the system is resetting your body's physiology. And the good news is you can do it at any age, at any life stage, whether you want to lose over 100 pounds and whether you're 82 years old like Elaine who's here today, you can use this same exact system. And the second benefit of the system is that we help you actually change your relationship with food in your body. And I think this is one of the big missing pieces of a lot of diets out there, such as keto or paleo or juice cleansing, is they don't really help you to change your patterns of thinking about food and your weight. So for example, if you eat for comfort, if you eat out of loneliness or stress, if you eat out of boredom, those are all things that tend to increase once we retire. They tend to increase once we're surrounded by people going through physical disease and illness and cancer and people passing away and financial challenges. So there's a lot of stress and loneliness and boredom arising around us as we age. And so unless you're going to change your relationship with food, any results you get with a diet are going to be temporary. So we teach a different way of thinking about food in your body that we call eating for nourishment and satisfaction. So the system, I'm going to really quickly summarize it for those new in our community. Before I go on, let me see some of the comments coming through. So Kathy, I'm going to reiterate the tip 3 now. Welcome, Lorraine. So lovely you made it. So actually tip 3, let me recap because I didn't make the point properly. I kind of detoured. So tip number 3 is, well, you all wrote it down correctly, the holistic system, but I haven't told you what the system is yet. So I'm going to type it in and I want you all to type it in too. Cook, eat, listen. So tip 3 is the cook, eat, listen system. And all of my members know this already really well, but I'm going to quickly go through it for those who are new. So number 1 is the cook part, which is cook your own food so you actually know what goes into it. So this is beneficial for you because when you cook food yourself, it's proven from research, in research studies. I'm trying to remember the name of the public university that did this study. I know Stanford did some research and the other one was, it's jumping out of my brain right now, but they did research showing that home cooks use less calories, salt and sugar in their cooking naturally, so they end up having less calories without dieting. And the other benefit of cooking your own food is it helps change your relationship with food. Cooking becomes a beautiful self-nurturing experience and you control the ingredients that goes into it. So that's tip number 1. Now, most of my members are actually intermediate cooks. They've been cooking their whole life. So it's not just about cooking your own food. It's also about cooking the right sort of foods. It's actually a new way of cooking. It's learning how to cook with the right techniques so it's easy and fast, so you can do it anytime with minimal cleanup. And it's also about learning how to cook foods that are going to be healthy but also tasty and delicious. So that is the part 1 of the system. Part 2 of the system, the eat part, is it's also about eating the right foods. So the right foods that you need to eat in order to get these results is, we call it, eat whole natural foods as close as possible to their natural state. So again, when you're cooking, it's all about cooking from scratch. And the key to being able to do this in your 50s, 60s and 70s, because I know you're all busy and many of you are struggling with pain or mobility issues, is you've got to make it fast and easy. So you've got to learn ways to use those life-giving anti-inflammatory ingredients, those bitter greens that fight cancer and reverse high blood cholesterol, things like steel-cut oats, things like turmeric, things like cinnamon, things like salmon, things like sweet potato, which is so good for you and help reduce your high blood sugars, high blood pressure and cholesterol and lose weight naturally without going hungry. How do you use them and how do you cook them from scratch and make it fast and easy? So that's part 2, is you've got to know how to cook with those ingredients and make it delicious and make it fast and easy. So eat whole natural foods as close as possible to their natural state. Part 3 of the system is listen, and this is again a big part of the way the program is different to anything else out there, is on this, you don't need to feel deprived, you don't need to, you're allowed to eat whatever you want, whenever you want. It's your choice, except we ask you to listen to your body and eat for nourishment and satisfaction. So this is the mindset piece. So that is how you change your relationship with food from the dieting mentality, is learning this new way of eating for nourishment and satisfaction. And I would say it's probably the most joyful, fun part of the philosophy and the system, because you discover how to eat foods that nourish and heal your body. You boost your immune system so your body can heal from the inside out, because the body is designed for wellness. You just have to stop getting in your own way, and you get to eat the foods you like. Because the big part of the equation that's missing in all the healthy eating stuff that I see out there most of the time is that you've got to enjoy it. You've got to be satisfied. So if I'm going to tell you to go and eat a pile of celery and cottage cheese for a snack because it's low calories and good for you, it's not going to be sustainable for you if you feel like a rabbit and feel miserable after. So you've got to eat for satisfaction, not only nourishment. And that's the key to getting results, losing the weight, and being able to keep it off for the rest of your life. So that is the system. What you do instead of dieting is the homemade method system. And we go into way more detail about all this in our 4-month online program, which is called Life Changing Cooking and Coaching. So we teach you how to actually implement the cook, eat, listen system in your life. And that's basically what the program is what is this new way of cooking? How can you do it? How can you eat whole natural foods close to their natural state and fit it into your busy lifestyle with the simplest of techniques? And then how do you learn how to listen to your body so you can eat food you enjoy whenever you want without gaining weight and with actually losing weight? So that is what the program is. And that's why we call it Life Changing Cooking and Coaching, because we have coaches too, expert coaches supporting you, nutritionists and dietitians for all your questions. So that is tip number 3. Write it in, is follow the cook, eat, listen system. All right. Wow, 100 new comments. Everyone, you are doing amazing, typing it in. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you, Debbie. Jean says, less cravings for sugar, especially ice cream. Thanks, Patricia, for typing it in. Thanks, Tamara. Anne-Marie, you're such a champion. She says, yes, when I went to hospital for radiation treatments, they offered carbs-laden snacks. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so Belle says, I'm feeling great. 3, cook your own food. So cook, eat, listen is the system for tip 3. Tip number 4. This is one that I personally love because I think it's a standard that you can all live up to. So what it is move and build. So tip 4, you can write in move and build. And here's what I mean by that. I don't want you to go out and commit to some rigorous exercise regime that you can't keep up, because trust me, it's not going to do you any good to do something for 2 or 3 weeks and then fall in a heap with lots of pain and injuries, which is normally what I do when I go too hardcore on some kind of exercise plan, which I never do anymore. When I start exercising again, for example, after I had my second baby, I literally start off with stuff where I'm basically lying on the floor doing slow stretches for 20 minutes. That is my starting point. And then you work your way up gradually. So the core, what this stands for, the move and build, is just move your body. It doesn't matter how you do it. I have a member, Darlene, who said she used to get outside for a total of maybe, I think she said something like 5 minutes a week or 5 minutes a day or whatever it is. And she's now getting out and taking walks and getting vitamin D for about 15 minutes a day. And that is incredible. That is so much progress. And she's done it naturally and slowly. And by the way, vitamin D is one of the things that helps keep your bone density as you age, which is another big benefit and goal going through menopause, is fighting the loss of bone density. So it's a win-win. You're getting the vitamin D, you're getting maybe a little bit of improvement in bone density, and you're getting the walk. So move your body. It's also good, as many of my members with diabetes have confirmed, for reducing those blood sugar spikes after you eat. So move your body. Don't think about high, intense, out of reach yoga or interval training or running or whatever. Just think about, can I take a walk? Can I go and clear up the yard? Because every movement counts. If you're looking after your 3-year-old granddaughter or your 6-year-old granddaughter, that counts because you're chasing them around. If you're cooking and cleaning up your house, that counts. So think of ways to move your body. Secondly is build. And by build, I mean build on what you're doing. Get tiny bit better and bigger, tiny bit better and more, tiny baby steps over time with what you're doing for your movement. So if you start off with 5-minute walk around the block, see if you can do 2 blocks in a month's time. And also the build means build muscle. So this is actually really important. And again, it could be something minuscule that you do and work your way up, because the building muscle is going to help so much with your strength, your safety, and your mobility as you age, as well as preventing that drop in your metabolism, which is going to lead to the weight gain. So the building of the muscle has so many benefits. And when I say safety, I actually mean falls. A lot of ladies and men as well, as they age, one of the risk factors is actually falls and not being able to get up again. So again, you get that vitamin D, increase your bone density, and then build the muscles. So if you do fall, your bones aren't as brittle and you can get up again. And I can't remember, I'm so sorry who it was who said, I want to be able to get up from a toilet seat on my own at the age of 90. That is this. So build the muscle for all those benefits. So move and build is tip number 4. So I would invite you, ladies, who, if you currently are already doing some movement in your life, share with us, what are you doing right now? What's something you're able to do? I've got members in my community with fibromyalgia, members who've gone through or are going through currently cancer radiation treatment. I've got members with who have been wheelchair bound. I've got members with neuropathy in their feet. Angel, you had that. I'd love to hear an update, Angel, on your movement because you were working on that last time. I've had members with arthritic pain, inflammation, back pain, all sorts of things who've been able to experience so many benefits of increased energy and increased mobility and pain reduction through the program and reduction of inflammation that they started moving. So the point is, it's accessible to you now, no matter where you're at. Don't make excuses for why you can't do it. If your only movement is sitting in a chair and doing some chair yoga, which you can access for free, by the way, on YouTube, since about 2007, I would say about 90% of the exercise I do is on YouTube videos for free in my living room. So don't let time be a barrier. Sometimes I literally will do a 7-minute arms workout on YouTube before I head off to work or head off to pick up one of the kids or whatever. So don't let time be a barrier. Don't let immobility be a barrier. Don't let anything be a barrier. Just start moving and build your muscles. Everything will thank you for it. It's really going to help. So that's tip number 4, move and build. And on that note, however, there is one thing I really want to point out here. Yes, Teresa, so glad you just tuned in, and you will be able to watch it all later in the replay. But quick point here about there is an exception to what I'm saying about move and build. Sometimes I see my members posting things like, I'm going to push through it. I'm going to push through the pain, or I'm going to push through, you know, whatever my joint constrictions are. I'm actually not a fan of that mentality or that concept, because I don't think the body is designed for us to push through pain. I think pain is a signal that your body is telling you that something is wrong. And so what I would encourage you to do is find ways to move that don't hurt. And so find ways to move that actually feels soothing. And if for you, the starting point of that is, as I say, for me, when I first started my rehabilitation after my second baby, if that means lying on the floor and just turning your legs and your head from side to side, start there. So do things that feel soothing and nice for your body and that give you energy. I don't think pushing through pain is good, but here's the second tip I'll give here. Start with a goal you can achieve that's good for your health, whether it's doing more of the cooking I mentioned, whether it's more of the eat part that I mentioned, eating more whole natural foods, whether it's more of the listen part, which is listening to your body more and getting more details on how to do all that. And you start with one of those, and then all 3 of them, because they're designed to be done together. But what you will find, and I've seen this 95% of the time with my members, is when you do that, actually the physical symptoms of pain will reduce. I've seen this so many times, I'm not exaggerating, that when you start repairing your body and nourishing it with the right foods and listening to your body, pain will reduce. And so what happens is you're no longer pushing through pain. You will naturally feel inclined. You will be drawn to move your body, because the natural state of the human body is movement. We're designed to move. And so I've seen that time and time again. For example, with Anne, who she didn't reverse fibromyalgia, but she lost a lot of the symptoms to the extent that she started walking with an elliptic walker in her living room every day. And I didn't tell her to do that. She just did that because she had all this energy all of a sudden and wasn't having daytime naps anymore. So that's the key for tip number 4. Now, welcome Linda McGregor. Aqua aerobic, says Linda. Let's see some other suggestions that have come in. Awesome work, ladies, typing in all the comments. Amazing work. Carolyn is saying, exercise is everything. If you have diabetes, can lower blood numbers quickly and feel so much better after exercise. I was never into it, but I've proven to myself it works. Beautiful words, Carolyn. And I would only qualify that by saying A lot of it is also what you eat. So your weight and your health is about 80% what you eat and about 20% the exercise and the movement. So getting that foundation piece right will actually empower you to do the exercise. And also it's amazing you've had that experience and been able to transform like that. So Patricia's currently walking. Janie is gardening. Love that. Deborah's doing chair yoga. Go, Deborah. That's amazing. Kathy's walking. Yeah, so Debbie's saying I've got arthritis and walk and joint issues, so I walk as often as I can. So again, think about movements you could do that will actually ease or help your arthritis, and then the walking might increase naturally on its own. Bravo, Belle, who says I can mop my floor and make my bed again. That is beautiful. Chris is doing housework and cooking to music and dancing. Love that so much. Dancing lots as well, says Yvonne, and walking on beautiful coastal parts of the UK. Love that. That sounds amazing. Barb says starting with 2-pound weights when it's been a while, moving to the 5-pound and the 8-pound. Bravo, that is fantastic. Laura says recumbent bike for 30 minutes and walking. Ooh, Tai Chi, says Deborah as well. Love it. Darla says walking and bicycling. Deb says gardening. Okay, so I'm going to scroll back down. There's like another 85 comments. So tip number 5 of the top 5 strategies for losing weight after menopause is getting support. And in the same way that I would say mindset is everything, I also want to say that support is, what's something different we can say than support is everything? Because then it's kind of contradictory, because then if it's everything, but they're both everything. You can write suggestions in the chat, something better, so I can have a tagline for support. Support is essential. Support is like oxygen, it's like water. Everyone needs support. And I went on about this during the session about the anxiety yesterday, which is we've all got to have support networks in our life, and it can be friends, it can be family, and that's a big reason of why we created this community and the members only group, so you can get support in a safe, supportive space for your health and weight loss goals. Because I know from my personal experience, it can become very tired very quickly asking friends and family for support with these specific health and weight loss goals. It can be awkward, it can be uncomfortable, it can be embarrassing, or they just don't have the necessary expertise to be able to help you. So support is my recommendation, and I want you to make the most of this community group, the members only group, because there are experts on my team here to help you. You've got your fellow homemade ladies here to help you. So that is tip number 5, and I would love to hear from ladies either in the community group. Support is vital. Love it, Barb. Thank you. Good one. And crucial as well, says Mary. So everybody, and yes, Linda's saying thanks for the support always, Belle and Lorna, as just some examples. We have had just the most incredible, I have been like completely overwhelmed and blown away and inspired and humbled every day by the amount of generosity and love and caring and support in the homemade members group especially, and also what you bring every day, ladies, to the homemade community group. Belle, Lorna, Margie, just to name a few. If I'm not naming you, it's only because I'm just naming a few names. But you ladies have been so incredible, just so real, and really giving your time and your heart into helping other ladies through this journey. So I find it so inspiring every day. And Linda Davis, she is the most kind, generous, loving soul who's always got kind words and support for everyone, even as she's had a stroke, even as she's had brain bleeding, even as she's coming out of a coma or whatever it was. She's still posting in our group with her updates and sharing her love and generous heart. And she has had so much love and support from our ladies during her recovering and during her rehabilitation. So the community is amazing. Get that support in here and give. I always say you will get back 10 times what you put in, because that's the way God, the universe, whatever you believe in works. So put out energy for others, help others with suggestions, recipes, and support, and you will get it back 10 times fold. Thanks for all the love. I love it so much. It's beautiful. So that is tip number 5. Annie Katie says, get support. It's essential, critical, necessary, and important. Yes, I love it. Support is vital, says Helga. Mary says support is crucial. Patty says this group is my support. Absolutely. And that's what I found too. The support in here is really unmatched with anything else I've seen out there. Support is what has got me as far as I have, says Debbie. Support gets you over the obstacles, says Christine. Oh, Patricia says homemade is my extended family. Mary says, thank you, Anna, for your amazing support with all that I'm going through. Yes, of course, Mary. Welcome, Anne. Trey Whaler, also one of my members, says, my husband and children are so supportive. My daughter is a nurse and she tells everyone how she can hug me all the way around now. Oh my gosh, that is a beautiful, beautiful sentiment. Thanks so much for sharing. Thanks, Teresa. So happy to support you. Anna Marie says support's essential. Patricia's thankful too. Patricia Bennett says Linda is a warrior. She is an absolute warrior. Okay, ladies, and we are out of time. So I'm going to wrap up, recap quickly the top 5 strategies. So strategy number 1, mindset is everything. Strategy number 2 is stop dieting. It's never worked for you. In fact, it actually does harm and causes you to gain more weight more of the time. Strategy number 3 is, instead of dieting, use our cook, eat, listen, print system. Learn more about it. Dive in, ask questions, and if you're interested, learn more from our members. They are more than happy to share. They're there to support you. Number 4 is move your body. Don't do crazy exercise that causes you pain. Just move every day and build muscles. Do simple things to build muscles. I'm happy to share more tips on that if you like. And then lastly, get support. You only get support if you ask for support. So do it. Ask in this group. If you're going through a tough time, share with us. It's a safe, supportive space. You'll get so much support from my expert team of nutritionists and dietitians, all the homemade ladies, and all our amazing community ladies as well. So those are the top 5 strategies. I was planning on doing live Q&A, but we are out of time and I want to be mindful of your time. So thank you so, so much for being here. It's been an absolute pleasure to spend time with you. And I will be announcing more live events coming up soon during June and July. So keep a lookout for your inbox. We're going to be sharing some amazing new summer recipes with you all. And if you're interested in learning more about our program, our waitlist is now open for our summer program. There are limited places available. That's the program where we dive deep on these principles. You get expert coaching. You get to meet all the members in the members-only Facebook group, and you learn about how to apply these principles to your own life. The program is 4 months long. It's for ladies in their 50s, 60s, and 70s, and it's all about losing weight, reversing high blood sugars, pressure, and cholesterol without dieting. And we've had thousands of ladies go through the program. We've had amazing results, changing lives, getting off oxygen, getting out of wheelchairs, getting off medications. So I would love to be able to show you that, share that with you. If you think it's right for you in your life now, check out the link. I just typed in the link so you can go to join the waitlist if you're interested. And thank you all so much for being here, for sharing everything. Linda says, thank you, Anna, for creating the nurturing environment in your groups. Thanks, Anne-Marie, you're so sweet. And Sherry says, I struggle with making and taking time for myself. Let's do it. So absolutely, Sherry, that's one of the key themes, self-care, that we teach our members. Very good observation. Laura says, you are important, make time for you. I was the same way, absolutely. It starts with learning how to put yourself first. Belle says, do not waste another minute. Yes, here. Thank you so much, Anne. Thank you so much, Patty Norford, as well. So kind of you. Chris, Lorraine, thank you for your kind words. Lorraine Winterling, so nice to see you in here as well. And Teresa and Vera and Nivi Juanita, so good to see you as well. Nancy, thank you so much for being here. Lisa, I'm just going to post for you a link to where you can read information about the program if you're interested. You actually get a free bonus gift when you sign up for the summer waitlist. And I've just lost my place in the chat, so I'm going to call it a day. We've gone over time a little bit. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your time. And I will see you very soon for the next live event. Bye now.